Hello, Key Biscayne. It is Monday, July 1st, 2019, and this is the No One's Listening Show, episode 155. I am your host, Rafa. Very happy to be here. It is hot as hell, and I've got an excellent panel with me. To my left, he needs some kind of introduction, but I don't have it for him. It is Tom.
Well, thank you. That's flattering. That's flattering, Rafa. Thank you so much. Tom here. Happy July, everybody. And I just want to compliment you guys. When it's winter, we host the show inside. And now that it's summer, we host the show outside. I like that. Good stuff. Thank you for that.
To his left, and a big fan of hosting outside, it is Manny.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to mess up those wooden floors. Guys, it's great to be here on the perch again. I thought we'd make it fun tonight. Let's make the show interactive. So how about every time that someone says the word crocodile, you have to drink. All right? If you're driving right now or, and you're listening to the podcast, just hit pause, wait till you get home or to your local bar, and we'll play along with you. How's that sound?
I like it.
Hear the word crocodile? Take a sip.
Okay. To his left, the lovely Anna is here. I'm not sure her preference on inside or outside.
I like outside.
Whoa. Bold move.
Hello, Key Biscayne.
Well, Tom, we got to bring you on next time because I want to switch it inside.
Oh.
Into the Roth Mahal here.
Ooh, that may supersede the perch. The perch is out here. The Roth Mahal is inside. I like it, Tom.
I like it too.
Isn't Tom the father of the outro as well?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he named it the outro.
I believe I'm the Godfather.
The Godfather.
I named it, but I did not develop
Correct.
it. So
Yes.
I
Correct.
I was
Pablo
gonna say,
Sanchez.
I don't think you
christened
made
it.
that song.
Well, Pablo Sanchez wrote it. Yes. Of course, you are the Godfather of the outro.
I'll take it.
Of coming up with the idea of...
Tom, we can drop the mic right now. You've already added more value to the show than we've had in 2 months.
Just finding solutions. That's what I do.
All right, let's start how we always start, a little weekend talk. I'll go first. On Friday night, we started building our float, and it's coming along nicely.
Still top secret.
Got the rest of the crew. I think I can announce it. You know why? Because nobody's going to listen to this before the 4th, and if they do, it'll be funny anyway.
I'd love to know right now.
Okay.
Oh.
So we started on Friday, and they're working on it right now as we speak on this show over on Heather Lane. If anybody wants to go check it out. And the concept is simple. Do you remember the Chowder Chompers?
Of course. That was the classic band that would play almost like on a flatbed with a roof.
Exactly.
And they were all dressed to the T in red, white, and blue, and they would play their big brass instruments. And
it was a Key Biscayne band.
Can I have a clarification? I mean, the essential thing that makes a flatbed is not having a roof. So I don't really understand.
Well, it was
a truck? So
no. It
so
was
when
a
I say a
trailer.
flatbed with a roof, you know exactly what I'm talking
It was
about.
a trailer, just flat with some little walls on the side and then a little roof to cover them while they played their instruments through the parade. So they stopped playing a long time ago. I mean, maybe like 10 years ago, because they all got old and they didn't regenerate the ranks of this Key Biscayne band. They were like a brass band. And so we decided to pay homage to the Chowder Chompers this year, and we are the Chowder Chumpers. And we will be out there. We've got a bunch of brass instruments, a drum set, some vuvuzelas. We're going to be making noise on our little Chowder Chumpin' float.
Rafa, I mean, I'm almost afraid to ask because I know you and how you like to attend the noise conferences at Churchill's. Does anyone know how to play any of these instruments other than the drums that you mentioned? Does anyone play any of the brass instruments or the woo-woo-zellas?
Nobody even plays the drums. Nobody plays anything. It's going to be a cacophony of sound rolling through the parade. We may put a speaker on there hidden and play some marching songs and pretend to play.
You should.
But I really want it just to sound like a bunch of noise going through the parade, and that would be the homage to the chompers.
I mean, up to the point of you were talking about the chowder chompers. I'm like, oh, this is no wonder he wants to tell everybody what he's doing. They're going to win this year. They're going to win the $1,500 prize. And then you got to the band's skills or lack thereof, and just making noise all the way down Crandon. I don't know.
But we will have.
How does no one play at least like one, like a trumpet?
Right?
You know, like no one.
Nobody. If you
What
do,
kind of music
if you
lessons did you
do,
guys have on the key growing up?
none.
Like the
Florida,
recorder,
not
the
New
See what
York.
happens. See what happens.
Do you know how they did it in New York? Andy told me this. I'm sure you. But you went. Andy went to
I
a
played
regular
the clarinet
school.
in the orchestra.
Okay. Andy, who went to public school just like everybody else, he played, I think, viola from kindergarten through 5th grade in school. And then when he got here to 5th grade, he was like, hey, so what instrument am I playing this year? I'm like, can I still play the viola? And they're like, we don't even have a music anything.
He's like, it's not even it's a violin. You forget in the end, son.
He was amazed that they didn't have anything.
I thought it was strange. I came here in 8th grade, and you had to play an instrument in the orchestra in New York. It was like a thing.
Well, that's going to be great, Rafa.
So-
I can't wait to see that. Or
If you do know how to play a trumpet or a trombone, which we also have,
here we go.
we would definitely welcome you in our marching band, in our sitting band.
You are crowdsourcing orchestral talent right now. Is basically.
But if not, it'll be fine. It's going to be fun. We have a maestro that's going to be on the front conducting us.
Sure,
Who's the maestro?
That's important.
Probably G-Man's going to be the maestro.
That's awesome.
You want to be same beat, right?
Exactly. We want to be in,
So
do
just
the
gotta keep in
thing.
line.
What are you playing, Rafa?
I will probably play. As
I see you on the drums.
as being involved with the 4th of July committee, I will probably not be right on there the whole time. So I won't have a permanent seat,
Oh, all right.
sadly.
That's fair.
But I'll take over every once in a while, and people will hopefully be playing the whole time. It's really tough too to play these instruments, and you get really winded. But hopefully we can pull it off. Anyway, what are your floats for this year?
I'm
Nope,
sorry,
nobody?
I couldn't hear you.
None of you guys entered the parade?
No, we're gonna set up at our regular spot, and
Oh, I got a request for you.
okay.
You remember those? I'm not saying it was you, but you might have a little bit of authority out there. Remember those classic cars, the lowriders that came through? They asked specifically, please don't hit us with water balloons.
Well, duh, right?
Yeah. So.
No, Rafa, listen. You're not going to see me doing any water balloons. I mean, I don't do that anymore. That was in the dark days.
You're stealth man now. I mean,
No,
I'm
not
saying-
stealth man. I'm just like I'm
Don't
pick
care.
up the trash guy, man. I'm not going to bring
Oh, that's
water
right.
balloons going down the drains. I mean, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all those when we'd show up with 1,500 water balloons. It was just for the kids. And I'm sorry. It was for it wasn't really for the kids. It wasn't to show the kids the wrong thing. It was
You hadn't
just
reached your awakening
it was so
yet.
hot out.
Yeah.
It was so hot out.
So the lowriders, no getting the lowriders wet. If you see anybody trying to get the lowriders wet, those guys are off limits. Please.
You should share that with the inventor of the wildlife chat.
Okay.
Because he's a water balloon enthusiast.
Really?
And I believe he's got some pull amongst
We're
those.
going to have signs that say balloons blow.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think that's going to work?
That'll do it. Yep.
I think the enforcement. I want the strict Manny to come out, tell the kids,
Vigilante
"What are you
Manny?
doing?" Yeah.
Vigilante.
Do you live on this
Manny.
island?
What's his first question?
What's the first question? Everybody knows what it is. You live on the key.
That's hilarious.
All right. Anyway, that was my weekend building the float, and we still got a ways to go. How about you guys?
Anna, go ahead.
I hung out with Rafa, not building the float, but we went to, what did we do?
Went to Stan's.
Went to Stan. Our friend Stan is moving back to France. He's from France. He's been here for like 6 or 7 years. That was really fun. And then on Sunday, we went to the beach in Virginia Key. And that was nice, too.
Why did we go to the beach?
For Grant's birthday. And it's his birthday today, so
Yes.
happy birthday, Grant.
Happy birthday, Grant Kunkel.
Big kiss.
Yeah.
Hey, Ralph, this is a silly question, but did you post the show on Facebook right now?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't go live.
Ah.
Oh, my
But I am
Lord.
recording it.
Okay. So should we go live now?
No.
Yes,
We're
now we're
live.
live now.
The
In
show
progress.
keeps going. Sorry, I didn't go live. It was
Yeah.
streaming, but it didn't.
So
it wasn't
we're on
live.
right now for all the
Yes.
people that are texting me like, dude, I'm at the link. I can't get in.
Yeah, they won't hear the intro. We're not
It
going
was
to do it
boring,
again.
don't worry.
Yeah, but they won't hear the beginning of our weekend talk. Though I
Right.
should announce all that 4th of July stuff, but we'll do it later.
Okay.
And now my secret's not out. Awesome. All right, perfect.
It was meant to be.
and every time you hear the word crocodile, you have to drink, unless you are
While you're
driving,
driving.
or not home or on your podcast and driving. Wait till you get home.
And how can we tell whether it is you're saying crocodile or alligator? Is it something about the teeth or something?
It's the snout.
It's a snout. Got it.
You do
Snout
anything this
color.
weekend, Tom?
I didn't do much. I've been with my derelict friends following the Dead and Company tour for the last month or so. So this weekend, my family left town to go up north for a few weeks. So I was playing catch up. So I didn't do a whole lot. But the mountain of chores had gotten away from me. So it was good. It was good.
Okay.
Manny stopped by for a bit. So always welcome.
A little family time. Got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I mean, just the last 3 or 4 weekends, I've just been going away parties for the Kimballs. So
Awesome.
there was one that I missed. There was another one that I was delayed from Tampa. My flight was so delayed that I decided to drive from Tampa so I could make it
wow.
to the party. It was the beach party. Did we talk about that one already here on the show, Rafa?
We invited everyone
I don't think
to
so.
the beach party, but I don't think you've
We haven't
talked
talked about
about
it.
No, definitely not. You
Yeah.
can tell us about
So
it.
we
It was,
had a-
it was noticed in the chats.
It was
the party.
a great party at the end of the Oceana Path, where the showers are, where we always go set up for paddleboarding. Beautiful event, set up a band
drum circle.
It was more of a band than a drum circle. There was my friend. She hired a drummer to come, and he's and 2 of his friends, and then he said, well, listen, I want to bring some other friends. She's like, look, I'll pay for 3 of you guys, but and to play from 8 to 11 or something like that, 9 to 11. 8 guys showed up.
Amazing.
And guys and gals showed up, full, like an orchestra, percussion orchestra.
Invite them on the float.
It was incredible. And they played from 9 to 1 in the morning.
Awesome.
It was, and we had a little bonfire out there. It was really nice going away.
It was a pretty cool experience because you could tell they were there to hang out with each other and play. And,
Yeah.
the party was just an excuse, right? It was fun.
Yeah,
It
they
was
were
good
like,
scene.
óyeme, voy aquí, Ken. Aquí, Ken, esta noche a la playa. Sí, yo quiero ir pa consolte. These guys were authentic.
All right.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Yeah, they were
That's
really
funny.
good. And then
That's
there was
awesome.
another going away party for the Kimballs. We had a dinner at La Scala. That was fun.
That does sound
And
fun.
then there might have been another one too. I don't know, a couple of yacht club times that they went, but they're officially gone right now. They are out of the state of Florida. So safe travels, guys. Alexandra and Billy, they're doing a drive across the country together.
Jesus.
Yeah. Incredible.
That sounds rough.
I know. So
No
they left
fun.
Florida.
Maybe it's fun.
They headed to
No, that's
Savannah.
fun.
They're only going to L.A., though, so it's not that fun.
Yeah. Right. So we'll stay tuned to that.
All right.
See you
cool.
soon. And here's the great news. I mean, I would start seeing Billy around. I'm like, Billy, did you move back or something? Because I thought you were gone. And I said, look, I'll see you. We're going to LA in September. Hopefully, there's a thing out there, and Nancy and I were thinking about going. I'll probably, we'll see you out then in September. He's like, oh no, I'm going to be back here in August, August 4th. So
Oh.
we're going to a welcome back party coming up for the Kimballs.
That's really funny.
Billy commented, you Key Biscayers, I've never seen anyone throw so many going away parties in Key Biscayers. We're like, dude, because, no one leaves.
I like
All
that.
right. That's your weekend. Let's move on to what you're listening to.
I'll go first. As per usual, I listen to a lot of Dead, and I've been listening. Obviously, over the years, they were known for covering Dylan songs.
Ooh.
And there's a pretty cool documentary, which is sort of heavy lifting, but it's called Rolling Thunder on Netflix right now. I think it's Netflix or what's the other one? Amazon, whatever. It's
Okay.
free to stream. This documentary about a tour Dylan did in 77 or something like that with some really, really cool people, a young Sam Shepard, and they just went around and played dive bars and churches and weird towns that they'd never go to, and it was very, very cool. So I'm listening to Dylan music by Dylan for the first time in a while and really digging it. And apropos of nothing going in the village right now, I thought I would play a little of Gotta Serve Somebody. So here it is. Thank you.
Nice. Let me
like
ask you
that.
something. Do you ever wonder, when it changed that your favorite bands couldn't play small venues anymore? When was that change? When did the Dead when they would stop playing a small theater? When did that happen?
Well, interestingly, so the Dead was playing football stadiums, right?
Yeah.
But Jerry was playing local bars right up into the end. right?
Gotcha.
So I think they did both, and it depends where you pick. I think generally the answer is when musicians stopped learning how to play or write music, I think probably had something to do with that, right? So a lot of the popular stuff right now, they can't play a small place because it's pyrotechnics and AV and stuff, right? But real rock and roll, I think, is still happening in small places, right? So,
Yeah, but like your favorite bands aren't like your Dead is not playing a small theater.
No, I mean, I remember when I lived in San Francisco, it was, hey, you want to go see Jerry at the Warfield tonight? That's a 1,500 seat theater.
Yeah.
or Sweetwater in Marin County, which is a 150 seat bar, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, I just wish I could see some of these bands. I can't believe that it was so late already, and they were still playing these small venues.
Yeah.
Now it's impossible.
Right.
They'll never do that. Whatever.
The Dead played at Radio City Music Hall they had like a,
10 nights a year kind of thing, yeah.
I am going to pick, what else? This one, I'm going to go away from my favorite polka band, but I'm going to go with this one just because it's timely and, give it a listen. I mean, if you can name this song.
Crocodile Rock.
Come on, man.
You're definitely not
This was
listening
a
to
favorite
this,
of mine. When I was a kid, I loved this album. Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
All that stuff, so.
Yeah, it's good.
Little Crocodile Rock. So if you're out there, cheers. Raise your glass.
I'm going to play my song and then talk about it because I don't want to give any,
Ooh, I
want
like
people
that.
yeah. So else I'm going to talk about it and then I'm going to expect something. So, yeah. Not common for me to play music like this.
The flute.
But I'm loving it. It's this guy called Populus. He's from Italy. His real name is, what is his real name? Fudge. Andrea Mangia. And he's been around for a little while, but it's this kind of like tropical blah-de-blah. But he said, okay, so this is 2014. He was gone for 6 years, right? And then he came back with a new album. He said, I was playing guitar in a noise rock college band. So he combines a lot of sound. This album, I think, is more recent. I will tell you now because I like to give that information. It's from 2017, and it's called Azulejos, and that song is called Cru.
All right.
And it's awesome. You have to listen to the whole thing.
My song is called 953, or 953, I'm not sure. It's by a band called Black Midi, off an album called Schlagenheim. Came out this week.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic album, but super noisy and like progressive. Let's take a listen to what it sounds like.
Get a listen to that.
Manny's face right now.
And it goes somewhere else after that, but
That is like the
but
opposite of
you
mine.
get the vibe. And what's funny is that of all people who turned me on to this album was Danny DB, who a lot of times, like even though our back catalogs align, like our new music tastes do not. But he showed me this one, and I said, "That is a great album.
Good.
That is some good stuff.
Do we know what 953 means yet? Or?
No.
Okay.
You mean
we'll work on that.
953?
I'm sorry.
More importantly, what is Danny playing with the Chumpers?
Well, I hope he shows up to ride in the thing. I'm not sure now with family and all if he'll be on there, but if he is, he'll probably
Hopefully,
play,
all three of them are out there.
some kind of horn, because that's what we are. We are a horn band.
A horny band? Sorry.
All right, moving on. Before we get to the news, bringing back a segment of this show which we haven't done in a while. It's called Key Hacks, but this week it's going to be 4th of July hacks. And
yeah, we have our on-the-road correspondent and friend of the show and founder of Key Biscayne, I think, Bill Durham. Bill, thank you so much. Bill's been doing an amazing job organizing and the communication, a lot of the communication, maybe not organizing it, but providing a lot of communication to, for the big Key Rat reunion that's coming up this week. And he's writing some great pieces for the Islander. And so I asked him today if he'd, kind of guest chime in with some key hacks for the 4th. And so he's like, he sent me a text. He said, dude, not sure what a hack refers to regarding Rat Radio Show.
I like your Bill voice.
Key hacks, tips and tricks to navigate life on the Key. Something, kind of a good tip to do. He's like, okay, I'll give it some thought. Thanks. Then he wrote me back, dude, important 4th of July on Key Biscayne hacks. Number 1, parade. The parade starts with a jet flyover at exactly 11 a.m.
Yep.
A lot of people ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss the jet flyover. Be ready. They fly north to south and along Cranon Boulevard. It's almost heart-stopping. North to south, I didn't know that. Great to know, so you know where they're coming from. Hey, kids, keep your eyes over there.
Know.
Number 2, longtime resident Judy Coslin is parade grand marshal, so watch for her car and float, and make sure you give her a big wave.
Nice. I didn't know that
Jewelry
either.
Judy
Jewelry
is,
Judy.
Key Biscayne legend. Legend.
Yes.
It's to be in the bottom of the Sonesta.
I think there's a great piece from the Islander, one of the news sources this week on her, so check that out. Number 3, the bands in the parade are always fun. Bill, I hate to break it to you, but this year the Chumpers, we'll hold out our judgment until it's over. Number 4, always important, the fireworks are choreographed to music. It's necessary to have a radio tuned to WDNA 88.9.
Yeah.
Yes.
88.9 is, I think, the only radio station that Rafa doesn't have a show on right now in Miami. Number 5, my favorite activity is cycling through Cranon Park and along the Causeway beaches to see and hear the diverse mass of humanity celebrating the 4th of July.
Ooh,
Nice.
cool.
I like that.
Yours, Bill.
Nice.
Bill, that was awesome.
Bill, you nailed it. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
that.
you. And we'll see you out there. So if you missed that, go ahead and press rewind and get those key hacks for the 4th.
I like it. Well, now that we're talking about the 4th and key hacks, I do have a question here written down, and I want to know what is going on after the parade. Where are we going after the parade? Is there some kind of party that we should go to? Is there some kind of place that is the place to hang out all day? I have an idea, but I don't really. I haven't confirmed it with anybody, which is to go to the Silver Sands. But does anybody know?
I mean, Rafa, you're kidding me, right?
What?
Okay, so there's a Silver Sands takeover.
Yes.
Everybody, all the old Key Rats. I'm not going to say old Key Rats because
Former.
former
Or still
or Key Rats.
OG keyword.
Yeah,
Okay.
OGs. It's a takeover at the Silver Sands.
Okay, so there's going to be...
It's going to be a lot of activity you can't miss there.
Okay.
A couple of key hacks here, Rat Radio key hacks. Check the wind. There's some west winds coming, so the ocean's going to lay down. Luckily, it looks like we're going to have a nice beach weekend for all the visitors.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been tough, but it looks like it might be a good one. Obviously, we have a new thing to worry about on the beach, not just seaweed, but we'll talk more about that later. So there's a lot going on. There's the 4th. We'll talk about what to do after, some ideas, but then the day after the 4th, on the what's after the 4th?
The 5th?
953.
The 5th. The 5th. And so that's what it's easy to remember. It's the day after the 4th. There's a big party at the Key Biscayne Beach
Slow
Club.
down. Bring it back. We're talking about the 4th.
All right.
I want to know, where are you going after the parade?
I'm probably going to go home and take a shower and then maybe probably take a nap for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe not. Or
I never
end
do
up
that,
on
and
a
that's my
boat.
mistake. That's a key hack. Is after the parade, take a break because it's going to be a long night, a long way to the fireworks. Okay, and sometimes you kind of fizzle up for the fireworks.
Right, you can go one way and get on a boat and go out to Elliott or the sandbar or wherever your group's going. You can hop on a paddleboard maybe. Some people might go to their yacht club. You might go to the beach. The beach is going to be great. I haven't checked the tides yet, but let me see what that is now.
Sadly, none of the answers I was looking for. I was looking for the one big place where all the key rats can go hang out.
They're going to be at there's going to be.
I think that isn't the Kimball House unoccupied?
I like that idea.
I like that idea too. You could definitely do a little pool jump in there.
I miss the cool pool parties.
yeah.
We used to have the best parties after the parade.
I know, but we don't have those anymore, so I'm looking for something new. I thought the Silver Sands would be perfect because they have a pool and the beach. I was trying to get my buddies to see if we could pick up a room, but that might happen next year.
There are rooms available.
Really?
Yeah, they just popped up.
No way.
Yes, absolutely.
On the inside?
I mean, what do you want?
Beggars,
You want 103?
Beggars got to choose. No, I want the ones just on the inside so that you're kind of, exposed to all the action.
For sure, because then you don't even have to have a room or be in your room. You could just sit in the yard.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has one of the cabins there, so that'll be nice. I'm going to bring some paddleboards over.
Nice.
So I'll probably go that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want something like that. Other friends were saying, let's go on the boat, which is fine. But I just worry that the whole group will get fractured if half of us go on the boat. And then
Well, everyone's
going
to come back around later, right, for the fireworks.
Well, some people are saying stay on the boat for the fireworks,
Right.
which is like, I don't know. But
Here's
I got no confidence, and that scares me because after the parade, if you got nowhere to go and you're kind of jumping around, then your whole day is shot.
Rafa, don't let FOMO happen on the 4th, all right? Just go with the flow.
That's exactly what I don't want
This
to happen.
guy is the king of FOMO.
Just go with the flow. I'll tell you something that's going to help you. Those of you that are going to the beach for the fireworks, please make note that low tide, don't be deceived, low tide is on Thursday.
Oh.
Is 6 p.m. So you might get to the beach and it's going to be like, wow, this is great. Let's set up down here for the fireworks.
And the beach gets packed.
And it's a super low tide at 6 p.m. By the time it gets to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's just going to be charging in. The high tide isn't until 12, so it's going to be flooding in. So it's going to be people pushing back. Set your key hack, pro tip, whatever you want to call it. Set yourself
spot on the back.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes I notice that they've got reserved spots with like tape around it.
Yeah, those
staked
are
out,
reserved.
so
The
I
orange
just sit
ones?
right there.
Yeah.
Like right in the middle of those. Nobody ever bothers you. And people are so jealous about how cool your spot is. They walk by and give you dirty looks.
Okay.
Sorry, no turtle humor, man.
You know what we should do on
I think what was said.
the day after the 4th, I'm going to put it out there right now. The day after the 4th, again, it's the 5th. We'll be down there doing a cleanup on the beach. So
Good idea.
come on down.
All right.
It'll be fun.
Well, let's move on, I guess. And we can talk about the 4th anytime you guys want, but I will move on to the news. You can snooze too. Talk O-Town. What is going on? Let's go with the easiest and blah, blah, blah first. Texting and driving is officially illegal today. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll get some enforcement on this island or not?
Well, I mean, my initial reaction is like, what? That was legal?
Right?
What the WTF, as the kids say?
It is officially illegal to be using your phone while you're driving.
And I believe a primary offense, meaning they can see you and pull you over just for that.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
difference.
Yep.
Before they could just cite you if they had pulled you over for something else.
Do you think we will get enforcement?
I would love to see that as its own section of the Key Biscayne police blotter on the Islander.
Oh, texting and driving.
Like
Its own
of
section
shame kind of deal. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
I
that.
like
the
it.
other thing
Exactly.
is, I'm
How effective would that be?
not
I mean,
not very.
if the blotter published names, which are in the reports, probably somewhat effective.
I know, but when you get a text, what if it's a chat? What if a chat has a new post? How are you supposed to resist the siren call of the wildlife chat?
Siren call.
So the other thing I think I read, and I'm no lawyer, but I believe that in construction and school zones, you can't use an electronic device, including a phone, even hands-free, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, so I think you can't text and drive ever, and you can't talk on the phone in a school zone. So
Yeah.
I think I have that right.
And people think that it just means typing, but I read it today. It means reading, too. So
Yeah.
you can't read and...
Obviously, right? What
no,
are
because
people
the law was
thinking?
kind of a little gutted. If you're
Yeah.
stopped, you can use your phone.
Okay.
So if you're like stopped at the light, you're allowed to
So
look.
just stop wherever you are if you want to check your text. Got
Exactly.
it. Okay.
But it's all about enforcement, so we'll see what happens.
I saw someone run into 2 parked cars in Miami Beach this weekend. We were going like 2-3 miles an hour. We're in traffic on Pine Street, Pine Drive,
Yeah.
whatever. And she just went right in to 2 cars and
Wow.
effed everybody up.
The other thing, it's not just texting, right? It's also like using Waze or something, right? Like
So-
how? I mean, we all hit that button. It says, "You're not driving, are you?" And you're
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm."
Are you a passenger?
Of
Yes.
course. It's funny. You seem to be on the left side. No. But I think any of that's off.
I was with some guys yesterday, and they have Teslas, and apparently in the Tesla it has like an auto driver
Yeah.
thing. And so this guy figured out his hack was because if you're an auto driver, you have to keep your hand on the wheel. So he would put like one of those ankle weights,
Oh man.
on the steering wheel for like a long haul that he knew he trusted the Tesla.
Oh my god.
way.
I don't trust those
That worked?
things.
Why?
I was in shock just from I didn't even know that existed yet.
you go in the back
Oh,
seat?
you haven't seen the videos of people asleep and just letting the Tesla drive?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man.
That's scary.
Yeah. I mean, the Tesla can drive down the highway, but that's it. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Well, that's that bit of news. The next bit of news, drink up, because a crocodile was spotted on the beach today. Or yesterday. Or was it yesterday?
Crocodile.
Yesterday, Sunday, Crocodile Day.
Sundays.
Crocodile.
I know it was. I think it was. It was the day that the Kimballs left. I think we can always remember that. It was the day that the Kimballs actually really left.
It's Crocodile Spotting Day.
Crocodile Sunday.
Crocodile Spotting.
I saw some cool
Yeah,
videos.
so we organized a cleanup yesterday morning and at the beach park. A group called Plastic Retriever. They're super cool and they do great cleanups, great stuff. And we had a nice group meeting at the beach park. I pull up to the beach park because I was bringing all the bags and the water and all that. And I see 2 police cars there. And so I'm like, something's going down here, right? So we walk out there. And I hear something about there was a crocodile. And I see the police officers down there looking at the seaweed, taking pictures. And so I walked down there and I said, "Officer, excuse me. Officer, I lost my pet crocodile. Have you seen it?" And they were like...
Did they like that? Or
They
were
liked
like, "Get
that
the
for a
fuck out of my
second.
face"?
Then they laughed. And then I said... They laughed, and I go, "You guys here for the beach cleanup?" They laughed a little more. They said, "Actually, yeah, maybe." And we got into the whole beach cleanup thing, but then we got back to the croc. Apparently, there was probably about a 7-foot crocodile that had just gotten up from a spot right in front of the beach park. She was laying in a bed of sargassum weed. So once again, maybe the sargassum isn't the biggest problem we have on the beaches now. And she was pretty much like, not too spooked. I mean, she was... But eventually she got out and she left.
How do you know it was a she?
Or he, whatever it was. But
Because of the baby?
I think it's
So
I think
then the
it's
chats went wild.
It's Latinx, I think.
It's a Latinx.
So then the chats went
Crocodile.
wild. We were doing a beach cleanup, so we didn't really, know what. I figured that by that time the chats were going nuts, and sure enough, at one point I checked my phone and there's like 75 messages, and I'm not even on the big chats, And then on the way back from Crandon, we were walking back down. We saw the little one, and we stood in front of the Oceana, and the little one came up several times. First thing we did was to make sure that she wasn't like fouled up in some plastic bag or a fishing line or net or something, because the thing stayed in the same spot, just coming up out of the water every 5 minutes. So everybody that walked by was able to see it, and people were posting that it was happening there, and people were reading their texts at their house on Glenridge or whatever, and coming down and making their way to the beach. And the beach was like a highway of people going over there to see the baby crocodile. So, as it got out and you're telling people, they're like, well, where was it? And you're like, well, which one? So there were several crocodiles that were out there yesterday. 50 years on this beach, I've never seen a crocodile on this beach.
Things are changing.
Where are they coming from? That's the question.
That's the question. I was going to ask you what you thought.
I mean, I have a couple of theories, and none of them are based on really anything other than my imagination. Maybe there's like a group of them left through some pipes, like some city plumbing pipes or something where they're coming from across from Matheson Hammock. They get in these pipes and they go through. I don't know.
I think it's probably related to the property values plummeting, right? So.
They got word.
There was an article about that. I'm leaving Key Biscayne was the headline on somebody a Miami Herald article that somebody sent. It's ridiculous.
Really?
It also could be that maybe they're just like their habitat somewhere else has been taken over.
Yeah.
I just think their numbers are coming back up from historical numbers because I think I remember when somebody. Remember when the one, it wasn't that recent, maybe like 6 weeks ago or maybe less, one was spotted at the yacht club swimming around?
Yes.
And I remember doing some research on the history of the crocodile in Biscayne Bay so I could write the rag that week. And it was basically the article was already old. It was like from the mid-2000s, and it was saying how their numbers are coming back or rebounding, and that Biscayne Bay is totally their habitat. So it's not weird that they're in the bay. Okay, so it's just that they're healthy and they're around, and that's it.
But is it weird that they're on the outside, though? Pretty far from any mangroves, right? Like, you got to go a ways.
Going around the island is a long way.
Yeah, I suppose it's a little more weird, but if
it's like a floating mangrove out there with all those weeds too. It's like a forest out there.
And they were always at the park at Crandon, at the old zoo.
Yep.
And it's not like they were crossing the road to get over there.
And the golf
course. They were going through the sea from the ocean side. So
right.
What? But I thought they were like placed there.
No.
I guess I didn't think about that. Right? The zoo's been closed forever. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
No, they're natural to the area.
I saw it there once.
The old zoo and the golf course are full of them.
Yeah.
Those big ones, and they've had babies.
Yeah.
And the babies are venturing out.
And there's some old story about the Ladies Garden Club used to import expensive birds and just feed them to the crocs at the old zoo. So,
what?
Yeah. So
what is this?
The garden club that used to plant at the zoo, the Quiet Gardens.
Okay.
They would bring in birds. Right? Birds are pretty. We want to look at birds.
Yeah.
And they would import them and they'd release them.
Oh yeah.
And then the crocs would immediately eat them. Right. So
yes.
That's funny.
They were looking for relief, but
yes,
not going to be. So I don't know. I mean,
Chucky Duncan's chiming in. He's been here for 60 years. Chucky, you're stretching. It's not really 60, is it?
He's in Fort Myers right now. It doesn't count.
He said he's seen about 20 on Key Biscayne in his lifetime. 20 on Key Biscayne. Which,
okay.
How many of those, Chucky, have been on the beach? On the Key Biscayne beach?
in the middle,
I know, they're in the golf course and at the old zoo and stuff, but how about on the beach?
And in Pines Canal.
All sides. East, west, south, north. Okay.
Oh, there
all
you
right.
go.
Pines Canal, too. I've seen them there.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So it's
All
not
right.
that-
Well, listen, I'll tell you this. From being, 3 feet away from it, like half of Key Biscayne was yesterday, it was really hard to see it, man. You couldn't see it. There's a video that's going around that's very clear, but in that seaweed, where the seaweed muck is kind of brownish, at one point, I was like, you know what, I'm going to with the chats a little bit. So I put on one chat, because everyone's looking for confirmations. Confirming, it's not a crocodile. It's a giant bullfrog tadpole. Giant bullfrog tadpole. And I swear, as I'm walking down the beach an hour and a half later, somebody comes up to me, Dr. Portella, Tootie Portella, and he goes, "Hey, Manny, I heard it's a bullfrog tadpole." It's not true. I heard it's not true. It's not.
That's
It's
great.
fake news.
Yeah, people. Oh man, the chats were exploding with that yesterday. Everybody's so excited.
It's exciting. It's summer. It's kind of,
Yeah, I
slow.
suppose.
Chucky says he's seen about 6 on the beach.
What?
So
And then
Yeah.
people, and then
Damn.
what I thought was funny is that people concerned. Oh my God, the danger of a crocodile at the beach. I didn't like. Do you guys feel that way? Like, come on,
Not
it's like
really.
the same thing. What are the chances?
Yeah,
the same as a shark, and you're not going to get bit.
I saw on a post somebody said, she's like, you can thank all those environmentalists
What? What does that have to do with anything?
for saving their habitats.
Oh my lord!
No way.
I had to
That
reread
is
that.
hilarious. It
Who
wasn't
posted
said
that?
ironically.
I'm not going to say who posted
But
it.
it's
Just
okay.
it was
if
on
he
one of the
said
chats.
that.
It was
If
one
he
of
said it,
God.
then he's
Dump your trash in front of their house. Okay, moving on. Okay, the key. Somebody in the village government opened up a little bit of a virus on the computer, and it spread throughout the whole thing. It was a ransomware attack, for those who don't know how that works. Basically, they send you a piece of, some kind of attachment in an email. They fish out local governments. They send everybody an attachment in an email, and they wait to see who bites. Like those old viruses
sounds like
that people...
1999.
Anyone in
Exactly.
the office, all they have to do is, open the link.
It sounds, Rafa, like you know a lot about it, and you're recently making home improvement investments. So maybe we found the culprit right
There
here.
will be a special meeting next Tuesday at the Village Council Hall talking about how does Rafa know so much about this.
Yeah, you don't shit where you eat, guys. Come on, it wasn't me.
It's a good point.
So-
Rafa. Very good point.
So
Third city.
yeah,
Third city
So
in Florida.
let me explain how it works to the people. It keeps getting reported as a hack. It's not really a hack. Nobody broke into the computers. No physical. A hack means that somebody connected to your thing and was snooping inside. Nobody did that, from what we understand. What happened is somebody downloaded an attachment. That attachment password protects all the files on your computer, and if the app has access to the network, it spreads to the other computers and password protects all those computers. And then when you don't have the password and you have no way of cracking that password. And so then you get a little notice on your screen that says, pay us X amount of money and we'll give you the password to unlock all your files. If you're doing good IT, A, you have your updates and you're not getting affected by these things. But B, you have good backups and you just say, okay, well, let's roll back the backups to, 3 days ago and everything is fine.
Yeah.
But if you keep your backups on the same network that you keep all the computers,
Can't get to
then
it.
suddenly your backups are also password protected and you can't get to them. And so you're shit out of luck. So what we know is that the permitting office couldn't issue permits for a couple days. I think they restored from backup.
Is that a feature or a bug?
Well, when you're trying to finish a construction project, it's a pain in the ass, I'll tell you that much. And so they were writing like paper permits. When the 4th of July parade doesn't have a permit
Right.
and is trying to get a permit, it was a pain in the ass. And it's still on. I don't think the parade has a permit yet issued.
So the parade's canceled?
No, I think they at the end somebody signs off by the and then some people lost access to email and still have it down.
There was a blast, too. One of those blasts that came out, and I remember reading it. That's how everyone found out about it, right?
Yeah.
But there was it said something that the police system was still working, or...
No, the police was down.
Oh, they were down
Their
still.
email was down.
Oh,
The
right.
rest
Yeah.
is up.
So that happened somewhere else in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a comparable type of
So we don't know.
community, or-
They haven't disclosed all the details to us of what's happened on the key, like how bad it is, or what the
Is it a
ransom
case
is.
of ransomware? I mean,
From what we understand, from all the underlying things that we see, is yes, it was. Like they haven't said it directly, but they've said it indirectly.
The other city, Lake City, got hit with something, and Riviera Beach, I think, got hit with something. And interestingly, I think in those cases, the infection, if you will, happened, I think, over a year ago. So this is one of these things where
It just sat there.
it sits on purpose for whatever reason, and it waits to spring forward later, right? So I have no idea if that's what happened here. I'm hearing the same thing. I do think that, I talked to a colleague who's pretty technically savvy, and he said something which was pretty sad. He said actually the best thing you can do to prepare for this is to be well insured.
Yeah, that's what
Right?
I mean.
So to the extent that we find out that we are well insured, that's a victory right there. So
But then what happens? You pay the ransom, let's say.
and they give you the password and
They
you
give you
unlock
the
it.
password.
Yeah.
How much did the other city pay? They paid like
600,000, yeah.
right?
But again, to be careful, the other city paid $10,000, and some faceless insurance company we don't care about paid the rest.
The rest,
Right.
that 600
So
grand.
the thing about it is that, and again, I know nothing about the Key Biscayne case, but in those cases, the insurance company basically says, I'm the one who's going to take the hit. So stay out of my way, and we've got the best people
They
to work on
negotiate or
this,
whatever. Okay.
and it's going to be fine. So just sort of do what you're told. So the thing that bugged me last week was, I love an informed electorate and all that, but there was so much clamoring for, I need to know now exactly what happened.
Oh, that's what.
And there's
Yeah,
so much
that-
noise about that, and most reasonable people would say, "Don't talk to me. Go do your job. Work on it, and tell me next week or whatever." So, but I hope there's back. If it is ransomware, I hope there's backups, whatever. But the good news is, I think, is if you've got the right insurance, that's the most
That's
sound
the key.
strategy.
Yeah, but does the insurance cover replacing and updating all the systems so it doesn't happen again? So these
That's
ransomware
what-
attacks, they get through on exploits in Windows 90% of the time.
Right.
And these exploits have been patched a long time ago, and the reason you get caught out is because you either didn't do good security in the sense that you let your users have trusted access, or you have an unpatched system.
Right.
You're not doing your updates. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it makes me wonder, imagine the key pays out whatever they have to pay out. Then is the system still vulnerable? I mean, it could happen again next week, and does the insurance cover it again? Or do they say, oh, because you didn't upgrade, you don't have a thing?
I don't know the answer to that. I suspect that one of the good security practices is not to tell radio guys what tactics you've used to protect it, right? So
security through obscurity is not a good form of security.
okay. I'm just saying we're probably not going to hear a deep dive on exactly what they did to remedy this, and that's okay. It's up to them to get it right, I think. So
I mean, like I said, I don't know if that's the best way. They might think it is. I think it would be good not to disclose the insurance policy and the details of that.
Yeah.
But they better update those systems, and not telling people what their security is not good security. And you can read up about that. Security through obscurity is just a way to kind of hide your defects. When your security is public, then that's when it's
Most
safe.
effective,
Yeah,
yeah.
most effective, because you it's out there, and it's
again, but I sort of suspect, Rafa, that they didn't target
Facebook.
Key Biscayne. I suspect that they threw this click here to see whatever it is you're going to see. I suspect they sent that everywhere, right? So
Yeah.
they didn't identify as a poorly secured municipality and target us. They just dumped this out there.
And
Yeah,
whoever
no.
catches
And
the
whoever
bait,
and by the way, if it took a year to be deployed at Lake City, there might be dozens or hundreds of cities where this is going to
Definitely.
happen. But I think
easy
your
targets.
best point is to not care, right? Like, oh, you fragged my database, whatever. I do a backup every 6 hours in the cloud.
Yes, that
and
would be-
cost about not much.
that would
right?
be that would be great.
Yeah.
And then you just restore.
Rob, a question is Facebook gone?
How do you mean? We have bad connection probably, but I
All
don't
right.
think it's gone.
We're still recording though, but we're just not on Facebook anymore.
It
Oh,
says.
I don't know. We're still here.
It's
Yeah?
there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, don't you see it?
Nope.
No?
Somebody else doesn't either, but
It says we're live. We got 11 viewers.
well,
What's up?
that's great.
$500,000 to turn Facebook back on.
Yeah.
Got a
We got hacked. Okay. Yes.
Hello, Rat Radio.
Oh, hey there.
hey, hang on a second, Austin. We're going to put you on the air in a second. Give me 1 second.
Introduce
Rafa's
him.
going to introduce you here.
You're going to introduce him.
All right, I was just going to look for my notes, but I guess I'll
'cause you
do that
gotta-
at the same
oh,
time.
okay.
I'm ready to go here. I'm ready to go. Austin. We have Austin Tellum here, who is the MC clown.
Not a clown.
No, but he.
I don't appreciate the clown description, but I'm the master of ceremonies, the
If the big shoes fit.
patriotic Americans on the special day that is 4th of July.
Austin, some of my favorite people are clowns, so I didn't mean that in any insulting way. It's great to have you on the show, and we're really looking forward. And, we just kind of want to get inside your head a little bit and ask you a couple questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
So I know, Austin, you put a lot into this, and a lot of things go right, and what can go wrong? I mean, what keeps you up at night on the eve of the parade? What keeps you up at night that night?
A couple big things. The stage guy, he has to come and set up the stage every third at midnight, and he works all through the night. So, I go to bed with just faith that that's getting done, and that when I wake up in the morning, the stage will be set. That's probably one of my biggest worries.
That's awesome. Is there anything that we can do to help you with that? Because I get out there early.
Anyone up after 2 a.m. on the night of the 3rd? Any Key Rats partying with Key Rat reunion? Drive by, take a picture of the progress, and send it to me. That'd be good.
Awesome.
Between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m.
Beautiful. And so, being the MC, that takes a tremendous physical ability. We've seen Mick Jagger and Bob Weir. The training that they do before their tours. Those are men in their 70s. What do you do to get ready, and how do you make sure that you're on tip-top shape on game day?
I went for a 15-minute power walk this morning. That was kind of the start of my training. Having some beers at the 4th of July Parade committee meeting that was supposed to start 5 minutes ago, but our president isn't here, so
he's
just training and drinking some beers.
Is he really waiting? You're not really waiting
Hang
for
on.
me, are you?
You're not waiting. You're not waiting for Rafa, your president. Are you? He said you were going to take over today.
He said he wasn't coming, and he didn't give any reason, so I don't know where he is.
All right. That's well done. So, and how about the voice, Austin? At what point do you when do you stop speaking to your family in anticipation of the parade day?
Usually not until I wake up in the morning. I don't really talk until I'm 2 Bloody Marys deep and my face is painted. That's usually around 9:30 a.m. and then I can start talking to the family and start warming up the vocals.
Luckily for us, you're a young man, and you've got your eyes on the prize. So many years ahead of at this gig, and we're looking forward to seeing you, Austin. Happy 4th, and no water balloons this year. We're making sure there's no water balloons.
Interview. I'm expecting a big turnout from all those Key Rats. I heard there's a couple thousand coming to the Key Rat reunion, so I want to see everyone out there. And happy almost 4th, everyone. It's
all
right. Be a good one.
Thanks, Austin.
Thanks, Austin.
Have a good night. Thank you, man.
See ya.
Bye.
Is that people clapping for him in the background?
Sounded like
Oh, wow.
Hey, it's the committee. The committee's out there doing their thing. All right. Well, that was nice. And now we get into the wonky wonk politics of Key Biscayne, which I loathe now. First, we're going to go in a circle, and we're going to see who can explain this story the best. Anna, what happened?
Everyone does one sentence, and then you pass it on.
Anna, what happened at the budget meeting last week between council member Ignacio Segurola and the Key Biscayne Community Foundation?
You're such a dick. I don't follow KB politics as intensely as you guys do, but I did ask you what happened the other day. We were having a conversation, and you explained it to me. And I don't want to mess this up because I don't want to say bad things about people, because I'll say what you told me.
Okay, what did I say?
Are you sure you want me to say that?
Let's see what I said.
About people's
Hang on,
personality traits and...
I don't know what I said, but I do want to hear it. I don't care. Let's see what I said.
No,
I don't think I've said anything
I don't know.
unfair.
And that's 7:30, folks.
I think I trust.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
I think I trust myself in the way I've described people.
I think that Ignacio... I can't even do it because I don't even know. I can't even do it.
Wait, what
So
happened?
bad.
What exactly happened? I don't even know.
That's why we're asking Anna. Now you're next to try and explain it. What?
I'm gonna mess it up. I'm not gonna just mess it up. I'm gonna give the tainted version, and then people are gonna get upset, which usually I don't really care about. But Today I do for some reason.
Okay, so Manny, what happened at that meeting last week between Ignacio and
I wasn't there.
and the Community Foundation?
And, the KBCF?
Yes.
What? I thought that was the Key Biscayne Crocodile Foundation. Cheers,
Drank.
everybody. Take a sip.
Drink.
I'm out of beer.
Rafa, you were the one that was supposed to follow this story. All I know is that tomorrow night, Tuesday night, there is a special assembly meeting. I don't know what they call it.
About what happened?
Yes.
About what happened.
Oh, really?
And I will be there tomorrow
Cool.
in public speaker mode. You know, you get your 3 minutes or 2 minutes or
nice.
whatever it is. You say where you live, and then you say what's on your mind. And
What are you going to say?
I can't wait to go and just first of all, be like, what? Why are we even having this situation? You know,
Wait, but we need to tell the listeners what happened first, before
and then just I mean, I am a huge fan of the Key Biscayne Community Foundation for sure. I don't
listeners don't know
see
yet.
really a forward here without. I know they've done a lot. They help. It's like having parent coaches versus paid coaches. You know, the Key Biscayne Community Foundation is like a parent coaches. You know, they have skin in the game.
Okay,
But I haven't told the listeners yet.
Yeah, all right. Well, Rafa didn't
happened.
set it up very well.
Well, I'm trying to get. You're about to go to a meeting to go speak, and you don't know what's happening. You don't know why you're even going.
I also read about it on the rag. I read about it on the rag, so I know that what happened there also.
Time.
That is funny.
All right, so let's talk about what happened.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Tom.
recently, two things have happened.
Okay.
And we can talk about how. Actually, more than two things have happened, but two things have happened. Last week at the budget hearing, Councilmember Segarola expressed his views that he has concerns about the way the village interacts with the Community Foundation. And, of course, his job is to have concerns and to express them. Part of the problem is that people viewed the situation as follows. He admitted that he hadn't done any investigation and he hadn't looked at what is apparently readily available information. And he seems to have used a lot of words that would imply that he had concluded that there was a lot of inappropriate things going on, when, by his own admission, he said he hadn't really done the analysis. So a lot of people felt like you can ask for transparency and you can ask for all this information. You're entitled to it. But it'd be real nice if you didn't use words like improper and inappropriate and there's a problem here and it has to be fixed and things need to change and they get money and nobody knows where the money's going, when in fact lots of people know exactly where the money is going, and he should also figure that out. So that's the first thing that happened. And at the same time, in the chats, there's been some grotesque commentary about Melissa, who runs the foundation, and about the foundation in general, and a lot of things, which I'm not going to repeat, but much stronger than what Ignacio said on the dais, really outright horrible things about people and their motives, okay? So those two things happen. So a lot of people are really concerned about if those two things are related. In other words, did Ignacio get all these people fired up? Maybe, maybe not. Is Ignacio representing that viewpoint? Maybe, maybe not. But there's been some indications where people, I believe, are reasonably concerned because, somebody in a chat alleged that the foundation deserved what it was getting because of things that Melissa allegedly did that she did not do. And I'm going to finish my sentence here in a minute, break. So there's been a lot of bullshit in the chats. And I think Ignacio, it's incumbent on him, in my opinion, which isn't worth anything, but it's incumbent upon him, I think, to disavow all of the bullshit. Because right now, they're both going in the same direction. And clearly, Ignacio did it on the dais in a less problematic way than these folks did, but it was still problematic and people are upset about it. So I really think it comes down to, if you're not sure whether something is wrong or not wrong and you care about it, you ought to find out. But before you know, you shouldn't say things about people. Like, even donors to the foundation are getting bashed in the chats now, for crying out loud. So these are they're exclusively good people trying to do the right thing, and we can disagree about how to fund things. Maybe the 4th of July parade deserves to be funded, maybe it doesn't, we ought to talk about that, and if it does, there's a right way and a wrong way. But using words like improper and inappropriate and that, it was not constructive in my views. But I think it's easily solved. Again, Ignacio doesn't listen to me. He shouldn't listen to me, but he should just say, I'm sorry that people got so worked up about this. The chats are nonsense, and the horrible things that these people are saying have no place in this village. But I do want to look at the data, and I will, and I'll report back. If he says that, I think we can all move forward together. If he continues to
double down,
be appeared and double down, I don't think it's going to go well, and people are out for blood.
I would just add up to that assessment that what he did. The only thing that what got people riled up is that of all the things he could call out for needing accountability, which was the big word, I guess, and he said something about it seems improper and such, is that he called out the foundation out of all the deals that the village has with vendors and things like that. He called out the foundation, who probably keeps the best books out of anybody that the village gives money to. And so people just saw that as a hit on the foundation for no reason at all. Like, of all the things you could take a hit on, why not just say we need accountability for this, that, and this? No, we need accountability only for the foundation. Why bring that up if you're not?
I mean, to me, that sounds like I wonder if it's personal or something.
Oh,
not.
I don't want to.
What I was going to say, and I didn't.
There's a lot of personal stuff in the background that, because it's not for sure, you don't want to say it, but I do hope the people who have been told it's personal directly by the other people come out and say that.
Some of the people have admitted in the chat that this is personal, right? So
that chat is that chat's like public record too. I mean, you can get a transcript of a chat.
Yeah, no, of course.
But again,
that's not a problem. I'm saying. So
I wonder if tomorrow at this meeting, some of those people are going to come and speak.
Oh, definitely.
The way that they speak on the chats.
Well, not the way they speak on the chats.
I mean, it's
so,
gonna,
what they're going to do is that they're already doing this. They're honing the message to say, instead of they're going to come and say, what's wrong with asking for accountability? And of course, nobody has a problem with asking for accountability. The real reason people are upset is because they targeted the Key Biscayne Community Foundation directly, and only that foundation of all the other things money gets sent to. And they did it, and Mr. Segurola did it without waiting to get the accountability, the numbers in to see where all the money goes, which he can get, and they'll give it to him, and they have a record. The idea that there's no record,
without Melissa being in the room,
yeah, exactly,
and so Melissa deserves that. She deserves.
She wasn't there.
So there's already a concerted effort to get people to show up and say, well, what's wrong with asking about accountability? Which there's nothing wrong with asking about accountability. It's implying that the community foundation isn't accountable. That's what's wrong. Why are you implying that the community foundation isn't accountable when they are?
Right.
That's the real problem.
Right. And again, I think that it can be solved. We're a village, and the foundation does a lot of fantastic things, and we need to come out of this where the village and the foundation have a good relationship. And if there's things that can be improved, fine, then improve them. But the path towards that, I believe, is people saying on the record that this is not personal and outwardly condemning. Even when your ally says something horrible, you need to condemn it. Period. End of story. If anyone refuses to condemn the language used about the foundation, its executive director, its board, and its donors, anyone who refuses to condemn that language does not deserve a voice in this debate, in my opinion. Because everybody makes mistakes. It's different of opinion. It's fine. It'll all work out. Melissa will show the acres of documentation that have been readily available for review for years. People will go over it. I don't think they'll find anything problematic.
If anything, they're saving money.
It's the other way around.
Right.
Exactly.
Money.
I was going to ask you to bring that up because in the RAG you brought that up.
Yeah, so
if you're going to outsource
almost
a lot of these services, that it's possible.
That you're going to spend more money on it. One of the things I could think of is, imagine they switch to a grant writing process instead of giving us, like, the 4th of July parade. Imagine instead of giving the 4th of July parade money.
Money, yeah.
They switched to a grant writing process, right? And in the end, we still needed to apply for a grant, and we would still, they would still give us the money, I suppose. But then you have the overhead of a grant approving person who has to review all the grants and has to put out calls for the grants, and then we get the overhead of having to submit a grant writer and submit
through with the budget
and the whole thing and all that, because you can't from the day is just say, okay, we want to give money to the 4th of July parade right here. Here is how it goes. They gave us their budget, blah blah blah. Instead, you want to, do it through another process. I mean, I would be fine with doing it, but if it saves money, because if not, what's the point? I don't.
There's also context for everything, right? This is not a wasteful government. This is a government that spends money on issues that it has identified as priorities. And we should all argue about what those priorities should be.
Like putting ugly new street signs? Sorry.
We should do it in the context of our millage, which is quite low compared to our peers, etc. We should have all of those arguments. But as soon as you introduce the specter of malfeasance, now you've done harm.
Yeah.
So I just think we have to be careful not to introduce that specter unless we know it's there. But again, I said before, feature or bug, there are some people where the shitstorm is the goal. It's not an unintended consequence of the debate. It's the goal itself. So if anyone on that dais has concerns, separate yourself and gain some legitimacy, and then maybe we can move forward. But until that happens and you condemn these attacks, it'll never ever get better.
So, Manny, what are you going to talk about out there? Now that you do.
I mean, it's first of all, personally, the Key Biscayne Community Foundation has been great to us and to Philibag, and we're like a tiny little thing of so much that they do. And then, what, as Tom mentioned, it sounds like somebody needs to say, hey, you know what? I used the wrong words. Let's work together to continue the transparency that we have in our village. But like Tom said, I mean, somebody needs to admit that, or else it's going to continue to be ugly, and we may lose an incredible resource that we have here. Mm-hmm. Look, I'll tell you. Today, the head of the Miami Foundation, he gave his notice. He's going to Denver. Javier Soto?
He is?
Yeah. Yeah, you can GTS that for sure. He's gone.
What?
10 years to the day of him starting. He did a great job here. He's a Key Biscayne resident. Can
I make a point that you remind me of, Manny? So the Miami Foundation is a good example. This Key Biscayne Community Foundation and its relationship with the village is not a scheme. It is not a racket that was dreamed up here. This is a best practice. This is the way municipalities around the country maximize the efficiency of their taxpayer dollars by working with partners who can deliver more services at less cost, right? So this is not a scheme. This is not inappropriate. Pass-throughs are not a problem. There has to be documentation, which there is, but this is how smart people do it, and it is not unethical. And to allege that it might be without having done investigation is not acceptable.
That's dangerous.
I'll shut up now, but that's the problem.
Tom, are you coming tomorrow to speak? You should.
Sure.
Yeah.
You should.
All right. Well,
Will it be outside?
That's as much as we'll talk, unless Anna, you have a comment.
No, I have to go. It was my comment.
Okay.
Like 8 minutes ago. But
Perfect. That's big, the Miami Foundation thing for you?
I work in the arts, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Calendar stuff, real quick.
Well, I want to be part of openings and closings because I don't understand what happened to Pops. And I want to see if anybody does.
So openings and closings. Oh, man, my mic's all fucked. Okay, hello? Okay, so openings and closings. Pops the burger place.
Yeah.
Heard about Pops. So somebody said it closed last week, and that they went and it was closed, whatever. And then the Islander runs a thing saying they're opening after the 4th of July.
Like grand opening.
Grand opening on
July 4th.
Yeah, after the 4th of July.
And we're like, it's been open for months.
And then it
we
closed.
Heard it closed.
I told my son today they closed. He's like, Dad,
Remember
you
we
got to
had
be
this,
mistaken. Yeah, you guys said it on the show.
I mean,
Or no, on the show you were saying
Lenny-
how great
Lenny's
it's doing.
listening.
Lenny's like,
Lenny.
it's going great.
I was
And
so
then
confused.
the next day in the chat, it was like it closed.
I mean,
so.
if you can't make a living selling an $18.95 chocolate milkshake, I don't know what's coming.
No, that's not.
I just
Shake
don't
and a
understand
burger.
what their grand opening and
Okay,
July
so
4th
we'll
is.
stay tuned
Whatever.
for that.
We'll stay tuned for that.
Oh, and the second opening and closing is that I mentioned this last week, but I got the official word, and the Pita Pocket is expanding, and they're going to have a sit down. They're going to close off half the restaurant and make it a sit down experience. They already painted that garish green wall to a nice off-white color.
They did? I was there the other day and didn't notice it. Okay.
Yeah, and they are going to change up the situation, put some tablecloths, some other little things, and make for a Lebanese cuisine thing. The guy was always also telling me that a lot of people go by his place and they're scared to come inside because they don't understand the menu.
What?
Which I thought was funny. And
What do they don't understand?
they just don't know the things, so they're scared. He said he was telling me that happens a lot. That people look at things that he renames stuff on the menu to make it like he puts like Greek whatever because people are like, oh, I know what
Shut
Greek is.
up.
Yeah, even though it's all Lebanese
Well,
stuff.
I will admit, I did go in and I asked for rice, and he said, "Do you want lentil rice?" And I just ran out of the room in a panic. So anyway, but that guy is super nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
He
That guy is awesome.
He
man.
works every day of the week. The guy's
He's
it's
so
awesome.
nice and cool.
So,
all right, and we got some calendar stuff too. Obviously, big 4th of July.
Not impressed with the Pita Pocket, huh?
Yeah, no, I know.
He only
Me
goes
neither.
to La Scala in that mall.
Yeah, I think I like the food, and I'm excited for a sit down
I tried the
Lebanese place.
empanadas
Oh,
in the Scala Mall.
And you know it's empanada singular possessive.
I know. Oh my God, we had this conversation.
Right. It's
We
not
had
S
this
apostrophe,
conversation.
It's apostrophe S,
It's
which means
empanadas.
there's some guy named Empanada.
That's
and obviously he got railroaded into that line of.
that's what I was thinking too. That was my conclusion as well.
No doubt about it.
I had this conversation with Rafa.
I know.
Isn't it funny?
I know.
I'm so glad you said that.
I wasn't going to say. I'm so glad you said it.
That's for you, Lily.
That's hilarious.
I got so upset when I saw that.
There must be a Mr. and Mrs. Empanada, but whatever.
Why it's apostrophe S?
Yeah,
on there.
Yeah.
Singular.
empanadas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, how
It
was
was
it?
good.
You know what it
It
could
was
be?
good.
It
The
could be a
menu's awesome.
contraction of empanada and is. Like, this empanada's good, right? Empanada
But it's called
apostrophe.
the Empanadas. Good, I guess. Fine.
Yeah, let's
the
go with
Empanadas
that.
good.
Let's give him.
It's like a family, the empanadas. Hey, who's coming to the
think
party?
so.
The
empanadas
Yeah, we're
are
going on
gonna
the
be there.
empanadas boat.
By the way, I ate an empanada from there. They're like good empanadas.
No,
I heard they were good.
They're good, and the menu is just like massive, and I enjoyed being
And you
there.
see,
and
they sear like.
they
like
brand
cattle
it.
prod branding style.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
pretty cool.
So, what kind did you have?
I had corn, which was a little loose for me. It sort of, it exploded melted in your hand, not in your mouth. And then I tried one of the dessert, two S's of dessert. I tried
The
one
deserts?
of the dessert.
Because you always want it twice.
It's good,
That's
and
how
the
you
people
remember.
are nice, but too much single-use packaging in there. My thing came in like a U-Haul corrugated box.
Okay,
it's a
so
little-
wait, did you say you had a corn empanada? Just
Like
corn?
sweet
What?
Yeah,
corn
you
and
never had a
caramelized
sweet corn
onion.
empanada?
No.
Sweet corn and
Whoa,
caramelized onion and
missing
cheese.
out. That's
Oh,
the best
yeah.
one. They always
Yeah.
run out early at the
The
place that used to be
empanadas.
called Patagonia.
Patagonia, the Patagonias.
Patagonia family. They got married. Then the
But it's not
Nowens.
called Patagonia anymore?
It's technically called Nowen.
Nawen?
Nawen.
It's always been Nawen, though.
Which
No, it's
is-
Patagonia at the
which is
beginning.
Incan, and
Oh,
Incan
yeah,
ending
now
in
in
the end
Patagonia.
is singular possessive. That's
So wait, you had the ham and cheese.
I had the ham and cheese.
And?
It was great. Oh, and then my brother went later, and I tried some of his, and they were good, too. I think they're great. They are $3.62 after tax.
yeah. But if you go and buy in volume,
A box of
buy
20.
10, get 2 free. You're getting
It's like
into the
becomes
realm.
$3.53 instead of
Right. But you're
$3.62.
paying for the experience.
That's
there.
the baker's dozen in Argentina. 10, get 12.
10, get 12, yeah.
It's good. I think it's good, and I'm excited to try the desert ones.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody tried the beef, though. That to me is the go-to.
Too
I was
My
actually
brother
too
gonna-
had
many
the pulled
olives.
pork.
It's all olives.
I love
My
the
My brother had the
olives.
Filler,
pulled
it's
pork
filler.
with
It's like
mango
dog
something
food.
something.
What do you mean?
No good.
You're
No
eating
good.
corn ones. What are you talking about, dude? I love the olives. Okay, calendar? 4th of July is on
of
Thursday,
July.
11 a.m. 4th of July parade.
Yeah.
And,
5th of July is on the 5th of
The
July.
5th of July, there's the party at the Beach Club. So
Beach
you
Club,
can-
Key Rat reunion.
$20 donation. Bring your reusable cup, so you don't have to be walking around like a solo cup person. you know?
Argue with a bunch of old people about who's a Key Rat and who isn't.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty old. I mean, hopefully the Key Rat's gonna be bringing their grandkids.
I was talking to Ho-Chi, for anybody who knows Ho-Chi. Good guy. Anyway, he's a year older than me. He's going. He's very excited to go and argue about who's a true Key Rat and who isn't.
It'll be fun. And then after the parade, people will be at the Silver Sands or at the Ritz. You know, go to Dune. You can't mess with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too rich for my blood. I went there recently to the Sandbar. Is that what it's called? No, the Lighthouse Keepers.
You like keepers, yeah.
Yeah.
Rafi, just bring your cooler and leave it out at the edge of the dune there, and bring your new fill-a-bag Peroni cup, and you'll be good.
And make that move. Okay. Well, that's the show. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Tom, for coming tonight.
Thank
and
you,
just
Tom, for being
always
here.
adding value.
Yes. And, get out there to the parade, please. You can still sign up to be in the parade. Even though we're doing lineup tonight, we can squeeze you in even if you sign up
How many
tomorrow.
floats,
I'll
Rafa?
text
How
you.
many?
50 so far.
Wow. Is it true that you guys are providing shade up and down Fernwood for the 3-hour wait?
That would be very nice, but no, definitely not. We already provided out the Village Green, not on Fernwood.
Maybe we can outsource that. Maybe we can put together a little entrepreneurial plan. And
Well, the thing's always moving, so it's like, where would you put
Well,
it?
if everybody's on a flatbed truck, that means they'll have a roof.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what's happening. Get out there. See you around the parties, hopefully. All
right.
Yeah. Let's
Play us out.
Play us out. Thank you, Tom, and see you next in 2 weeks. Bye.
Good night.
No one's listening. Show.